Hey guys, Rochelle here with Amethyst Ascension. So today I'm going to be doing a book review. This was a long time coming. I am so sorry, Lennan. She sent this to me for a book review a few months ago. And although this is really a very accessible and easy book to get through, and you'll see why, it took me forever because I really, when I'm reading, it's like I always get distracted. Always get distracted, or I have several things going on. So reading is the thing that really takes a back seat for me, because if I'm watching a video, which I support a lot of people in the community, so I watch a lot of videos on the daily. So I can't listen and read at the same time. My mind doesn't allow me to do that. I'm not that good of a multitasker, because I also want to soak in what I'm hearing or what I'm seeing. That's why I'm so much better with Audible books, because I can lay in bed at night when it's time to relax and listen for an hour every night as I drift off, and that's almost like the time that it's like allowed. Reading a book at the end of the day when my eyes are tired just doesn't work. So, and getting up in the morning or reading in bed with a light, nah, it doesn't work. When I start to read a book, it seems like the boys need to go out, or my husband starts talking to me, whatever it is, it's just distraction. So it takes me forever to get through a book, even though this is so highly digestible. This book, as you can see, I had started in the beginning putting tabs for all the pages, everything that I wanted to show you guys and stuff that I loved, but then it just became like every page, okay? Everything I loved. Everything in this book really makes you think. And if you watch Lennan's channel, and I'm going to put a link down below to Lennan's channel, one of the things I was going to suggest to her is to start doing videos about a page that she has in here and reflection, maybe even having different practitioners on her channel talking about these topics. And I just seen that she just did one of them a couple of days ago, which I have to watch yet. I'm going to go watch it because I think she's brilliant. She's deep. And I'm just going to do a quick run through just so you can see the kind of topics that she talks about and the style in which it is written, the format of the book. But then I'm just going to go through and kind of do like some bibliomancy so that you can see how some of these read. Okay, so the font is really cool. Here's the topics. So we got answering the call, cosmology, ontology, desire, intention, theory, application, belief, calendar, hygiene, practice, methods, history, reality. And then she's got like other topics inside of each one of those. Okay? So, answering the call, seen it in the movies, play pretend, read about it in the books, when magic beckons, speaking to things. It's not a phase. What is magic? Understanding magic. I will say, in the beginning, it just felt like not as challenging for my mind. It was about more the basics. And then as it goes on, it's almost like she's preparing the reader for the deeper stuff as you get towards the back of the book. And I tell you, the last half of it, I was on a trip. My husband was driving. He was listening to music. So I was able to read a good, I think, 100 pages, right? And it went by so quickly, and I was so invested, and I'm sitting there going, yes, yes. I'm like saying these things in my mind. Listen to the magic, be curious, be receptive. I could see so many beautiful conversations starting from this book. And do you see what I mean? It's very digestible. The font is beautiful. It's easy to read. It's larger so that I don't need my glasses. The topic matters are really good. Finding your power, magic is identity. She does use some words that I've never heard of before, because you can tell she's a very well-read individual. And she has read through a lot of different things that have to do with the craft. That is obvious to me, but that was already obvious to me anyways by watching her channel. She's very very about her how do I to me, I don't want to say this is how she is. To me, I perceive her as somebody that is very, not necessarily about the books, but her, and she is book knowledge, or she has book knowledge, but very wise in her own practice because of a very hands-on kind of person. Like hands in the dirt and just what's the word? I'm feral, right? Just doing it, just try it out. Yeah, not always theoretical. What is that ringing? Answer the call. And we get cosmology. What is the universe? Somewhere out there on the edge of reality. Imagine it. Expansion. Does it speak to you? Is nothing something? Time is paradox. See, it already starts off. Good and evil. I say she starts off, I don't want to say it's more mundane. It's not. Nothing that she does is like that. It's all deep, okay? But some of the things get a little bit more, like she gets deeper on some of these concepts towards the back. How fast does magic travel? Speed of light. These are all like questions, right? Universal intelligence that we ask ourselves, or some people ask themselves. Does magic have a shape? Healthy skepticism. Which soul? I mean, this is the kind of book, literally, I think that a coven could sit around with and have long discussions. Like pick a couple of pages and have long discussions about these topics that are in here. Which soul? Age of magic. Nature of being. She really makes you think. What makes something what it is? Abstraction. Name it. Label it. Subjectivity versus objectivity. Does belief mean existence? God. Who? What makes us up? Mix up with God. Theurgy versus... Sorry. Had somebody come in. Theurgy versus thaumaturgy. See, this is another thing. A word I had never even heard of. Pay attention. Knowledge can be wrong and wisdom is earned. Did you know that? I know, therefore I am stupid. Make your own fundamentals. Otherworld query. If you've watched Lennan's channel and the way that she talks and the way that she describes things, this is so Lennan. I feel like I'm watching one of her videos as I'm reading this. It's so good. This world is, this world isn't. Fixed versus flexible. And desire. What do you want? What is desired? Compelled. Love versus love, or lust versus love. Ideals. Wishes. Hope. Turmoil. Pleasure. No displeasure. Soul vibrations. Absence. Preserving. Just giving you like suppression. Natural humanity. Intent, desire plus intention, logic rules. She like breaks down every little thing, not every little thing, but she breaks down everything in the magic sense. You know what I mean? Like picking apart components or theories. It's hard for me to explain. I'll go through and read some of these. Free will, dependency, so that you can see for yourself. Know thyself, romanticization. I didn't say that right. Autonomy, mindset, seeking answers. Seek the answers, but know that there may never be answers. And the answers aren't dependent on your questions or quests. Exactly. Hello. Critical thinking. When in a magical mindset, there can be traces or full-blown craziness of the unknown and the mysteries that tend to turn off the rational mind. Critical thinking is still important when traversing the unknowns of magic. How do I stay critical while trying to perform magic? That's the question, isn't it? Signs and synchronicities come and go. Not all things you can perceive would be signs from the universe, but some are. Exactly. I like to think of a magic mindset like going into a labyrinth. I'm holding a string of awareness. The string allows me to venture and go where the magic needs me to go while holding fast to the tangible world. And when it's time to return, I just follow the string back. Interpretation. Relevance, relevance, theory, magical theory, magical models, magical hierarchy, how to know what to do when, magic's recipe, correspondence, self-evident, principles of magic, you are the magic, work outward towards everywhere, what is power, magic's price, theory versus praxis, just try it out. I think she says that a couple of times. Elements is magic listening. Application, what is applying, where to apply it, use a mirror. How good is your intuition? Magic dualities, what's in a name, application within practices, or it's so good. Thought experiments, spoon-fed, clarify, control the magic, siphon from a source, magical interview, make magic yours, armchair practitioner. And we get into belief. What do you believe? Belief versus knowing, curating beliefs, belief's aim. So let's see what it says for belief's aim. A question I love when thinking about believing in magic is, what if I didn't believe in anything? Would things continue to exist if I didn't believe in them? Sure, yeah. Beliefs seem to fit into the box of behavioral. What is belief's aim? What does belief hope to accomplish through you? If I didn't believe in anything, I feel like nothing would change. I do not use magic because I believe in it. It has been a continuous relationship. I would say my aim is to keep growing with magic because I want it in my life. I suppose, in some sense, I like dating magic. LOL. See, I love this. It's so good. Faith versus belief. How to have faith, ebb and flow. Coping mechanisms, psychological dynamics. Values play a role. See, she gives her opinion on things, although she's light on it. She's really just asking the reader to ask themselves a lot of these questions, to look at these questions maybe in a different perspective, or just like dig deeper, ethics, indoctrination, conditioned, beliefs control, calendar, the magical calendar, Sabbats, solstices, equinoxes, days of the week, moon phases, celestial events. You see, she touches on so much here. Holidays, personal days, days for divinity, culture, mundane magic, astrology. Everything is like bite-sized. It is like enjoyable to read. I don't know how I can explain this. It's just like my kind of book. The way that she writes is my kind of book. I could see doing bibliomancy with this, and then just picking a topic that I journal about, and go into a rabbit hole with. Time itself, universal movements, hygiene, clean your room, grounding, centering, clear it out, sacred space, cleanse, smoky air, say it and spray it, water cleanse, fire cleanse, air cleanse, earth cleanse, consecrate, is this energy or spirits, protection from what, purify, 7 sins, 7 virtues, scientific method, hypothesis, spell map. Yeah, she definitely seems like a person to me, just from watching her channel and from reading this book, that shows me that she reads about, magic, but she lives magic. She is always experimenting just for the sake of experimenting. Now, I could be wrong. This is what I perceive from her. She's like a hands-on kind of person, an F around and find out kind of person. right? Just do it, like Nike. For what? For self, for health, for love, for prosperity, for success, for justice, directing, and then methods. Okay. So, there's more. Okay, sorry. Traffic. My hubby's on vacation, and my daughter just popped over. So, let's do some, magic fingers, all right? Let's read some whole pages. You. Okay. Is this energy or spirits? This question. How do you know if what you sense is an energy or a spirit? Is it all in the interaction? I think all spirits have energy, but not all energy is spirit. Energy, the felt sense, quality, and presence. Powerful note. Figure out what qualities certain energies possess to get to know energy markers. Gentle, vengeful, fearful, maleficent. Spirit, the projection of the essence left behind after a death or transformation. Powerful note. Spirits are not tied to this plane of existence. Therefore, they hold their strength in the non-corporeal. All right. I'm going to do a few more of these just so you can get examples of... All right, let's see. Oh, okay. So the first, intent. I can contemplate, dream, and nurture countless desires, yet none of them can truly manifest without the guiding force of intention. Many spiritual practitioners firmly believe in the significance of intentions. It's a vital component in the process. However, effective magic demands the full spectrum of our engagement. It requires not just a strong intention, but also clear focus, emotional energy, and a balance of mindful action. Only when we combine these elements can our wishes take shape and flourish in the real world. Each aspect contributes to the powerful alchemy of manifesting our true desires. And then she goes into more detail about desires and logic, rules, dependency, free will, yada, yada, yada. Let's do another one in that line of intent, right? Let's do some of these in the back. Okay. I loved this one when I read it. It made me laugh. Magic as placebo. I was once told that magic was a placebo. Flashbang. Who cares? Who am I bothering when I use magic and it works? Or not? I think I'm doing pretty good if one of my main curative maledictions is magic. Right. Exactly. Like, who cares? If we know that the placebo effect works, and somebody's going to say, well, your magic is just placebo. Yep. Okay. And your point is, if it works, right? If it changes your perspective in your life, it's working. Let's see what else. Subjectivity versus objectivity. Subject versus object. Matter versus mind. Subjectivity, the world as you know it. Objectivity, the world as everyone knows it. Why would this be relevant? I think forming an interpretive harmony between these two terms can help form a magical foundation. Should the subjective be driving the working, or should you let objectivity drive this time? Each has its own strengths and weaknesses. Yes, it does. Let's do another one from in the back, because I loved her stuff. Magic's metaphors. One of the more difficult aspects of magic is explaining it to others. While some practitioners have a pretty good grasp on how they interpret their magic, some are still in the learning stage and are doing as they learn. When explaining magic to someone using my own structures and beliefs, I tend to use analogies and metaphors. Metaphors I like for magic: electricity, singularity, an amateur physicist perspective, imagining magic as a tool, magic as a skill, magic as information, magic as the interpreted practicality from fantasy. What metaphor would you choose to describe magic and or its properties? Is magic too large to be explained using semiotics? Magical system. We'll read this one too. I know. Fantasy and science fiction is not magic in the sense that we think of it today. However, magic building is what we essentially do as practitioners. We take from what we know, what we've seen, and what we sense to build a practice. When we combine different areas, we are building a magic system, a system through which we practice our crafts. Try a world building exercise or questionnaire to get the ball rolling. Answer the relevant questions with honesty and practicality. Curate a practice as if you are building your own world with its own magic system. Some of your answers may seem fantastical or mystical, but they can be bridges to what you may want to incorporate as real world applications. Secrets. Many practitioners turned to magic because they sensed that hidden forces were at work. These forces were often obscured, and magic became a pathway for seeking insight in everyday life, in their personal experiences, and in the cosmos. Fear, tinged with desire, served as a means for magic to either illuminate the unknown or keep some individuals in the dark. The journey of seeking began as a quest for truth, rooted in the exploration of inner knowledge and self-awareness. Over time, it evolved into a powerful urge to push beyond the familiar boundaries of home, where magic quietly flourished. Practitioners increasingly felt compelled to reveal the hidden aspects of magic, daring to bring it into the light. They sought to navigate through its transparent layers, delving into its mysteries and revelations in a broader world that called them beyond their sheltered existence. Is magic supernatural? Google may tell us that magic is a supernatural practice and phenomenon, but I have felt magic in the natural, unnatural, and preternatural. I've never heard of that before. Magic is beliefs turned into actions for change and growth, enlightenment, and through all manner of ascension/dissension. Therefore, magic cannot be merely supernatural. I completely agree. Here's my gentle breakdown. Unnatural, artificial, contrary, not in accordance, incognita, and unseen. Natural is the world and the seen reality. Preternatural, within nature but unexplainable, although widely assumed as truths. And then supernatural, beyond the natural, not related to the laws that govern nature. I'll just do a few more for you. The words. I could have added library art to the art magic section. However, as a poet, I wanted a page dedicated to the word itself. Words have power. The written word, the spoken word, they are magic. From handwritten spells jotted down with scratches and mistakes and aha moments in the margins. I love that. To the words spoken in hushed tones in the universe. Words hold meaning. Incantations are spoken spells. Poetry can be a powerful form of dedication and a generous offering. Books tend to inspire our magic with their realistic or imaginative concepts, and pop culture. Don't forget pop culture. There is magic to be found in the media, toys, celebrities, and characters. Pop culture has loads of inspiration to activate and initiate and project our magical thoughts. Some examples I've used is artists I love, video game concepts, book characters, musicians, music characters, toys. How would you use Optimus Prime, Barbie, Frida Kahlo, Heathcliff, Dark Lord from Legend? I love it. You see how easily digestible this book is, but in its pages, let me read this one to you. Knowledge and wisdom are different concepts. Knowledge is gained, wisdom is earned. But can knowledge be wrong sometimes? And can wisdom come even if I didn't ask for it or work for it? Absolutely. This has been a powerful thought experiment. When I've read a magical book, for example, sometimes I put it down and think, well, that didn't teach me much, but really it may have. It just hasn't manifested yet. And regardless of whether the book was seminal or not, I would never have known it without reading it. Don't snub your nose at knowledge. You never know when, if you'll use it. And don't wait for wisdom to come with age either. Data plus knowledge plus wisdom plus action equals magic. Gosh, I love that. All right. I could just keep going on about this book. I think every magical, or even anybody that's thinking about witchcraft or being a magical person, or should really get this book, because it really opens up a whole lot of thoughts. It makes you things that you might even think that you know, just like this practice that I just did with the November stuff from Star, from the Wild Witch channel, the elemental foundations, going back to the foundations. So many things that are foundational. I think that I can only speak for myself. I take for granted, and then I think that I know it, so I don't revisit. I don't think about it again, right? And then I just keep building on my practice. But when you stop and you slow down for a little bit, and then you go back and you contemplate again, and you maybe do some testing or hypothesis or more research or whatever, and it like opens up new thought ways, new thought pathways. This is what this book does. It's simple in its delivery, but so impactful. It could be a wonderful conversation starter, everything. I highly recommend this book. It's beautiful construction. Lennan did a fantastic job on this book. I loved every part of it, down to the book cover, everything she did, down to the font, the formatting, everything. I loved it. I had to stop doing these because it would have filled up the whole damn thing, because I thought it was all so good. And one other thing that I want to say is, when I was reading this, because I do watch Lennan's channel, and I see how she talks and how she explores things, and I felt like I was watching one of her videos while I was reading this, which means I could hear her voice in this manifesto, and that was just absolutely amazing to me. So I highly recommend it. I'm going to put a link over to Lennan's channel, and I think this is on Amazon. So if I can find a link on Amazon, I'm going to put it on there. But please go and check out Lennan's channel. Lennan, if you're watching this, my recommendation is start doing some videos, maybe even with roundtables with other witches, and start talking about some of these friggin' amazing concepts that you have in here. And just see how these are just perfect conversation starters. I would so be up for talking about many of these things with you and other practitioners that like talking about and digging deep into some of these philosophies. And you're just amazing. And I enjoyed this very much. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Please go check out Lennan's channel. Get this book. If you know what's good for you, you're gonna get the book. Okay. So thank you for spending this time with me, and I'm sending you love always.